going to start off with some breathing. I'm already warm, so I'm going to be cooling down and then revving back up again. But get comfy. Again, remember, if you've got a cushion at home, you can grab your cushion, pop it under your bum, get cozy. I don't want any pain in the lower back or the hips or anywhere really in the body. Make sure that we're tucking our hips under, lifting the bellies as we sit, and lengthening up the spine. That opens up our ribs nicely for our breathing exercises. We're going to do our alternate nostril breathing again, which is Nadi Sodhana. My pronunciation is so English. Anyway, so make sure you're sitting comfy. We're going to use our pointy finger and middle finger to balance our hand on our head, and then you'll use your thumb finger to block one nostril, and you'll use your ring finger to block your other nostril. Microphones on silent, please. And then you'll be starting off blocking your right nostril, inhaling through the left. We're going to hold it. It's up to you how long you can hold it for, because everybody is at a different level. And then you exhale through the right while blocking the left nostril. Then you inhale through the right, hold it for as long as you're able to, block the right, and exhale through the left. And you keep repeating that pattern. You're doing it at your own pace, so I'm not going to count you through it. But remember, you're trying to get nice deep breaths happening and slow exhalations. You just do the best you can. So, let's begin. Block your right nostril, inhale through your left. Hold it. Block your left, exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Hold. Exhale through your left. Keep going at your own pace. Finish up on your last round, making sure that your last exhalation is out your left nostril, and allow your breathing to return to normal. So we're going to start off stretching our neck a little bit. Turn the music down so it's not too distracting. You can stay on your cushion if you've got one. So we'll start off with just moving the chin gently backwards. So you're not trying to drop your chin towards your chest, but rather just pulling your head back and releasing. Pulling your head back and releasing. Pulling your head back and releasing. This is helping us stretch out the occipitals a little bit, especially for people who are sitting on computers or phones or anything really. A lot of us have a tendency to sit with our head jutting forward. And this is a nice exercise to use to help out with your posture and your neck muscles. Keep pulling your head back and releasing, back and releasing, back and releasing, back and hold. And release. Okay, then we're going to take our right hand, grab the left side of your head, lift up and over that imaginary tennis ball and put it over towards your right shoulder. Keep the gap between your chin, your jaw and your shoulder. Don't let your head crunch down onto your shoulder. Have your free arm pull forward like somebody is pulling it away from you and wrap it behind your back, getting a deeper stretch down your shoulder and your neck. Now take that arm and take it up next to your ear, sending your arm back behind you, trying to touch between your shoulder blades. And release. We go to the other side, left hand grabs right side of your head, lift up and over that tennis ball, pulling your head towards your shoulder, but don't let it drop down onto the shoulder. Take your free arm out in front of you and feel like somebody's pulling it and wrap it behind your back. Release that back arm, bring it up and over so that your hand is trying to grab at your rhomboids. And release. Next exercise we're going to do is, it's again this idea of the chin pulling gently back, but we're going to be pulling it gently back and then turning it to the side. Once we get it to the side, you don't want to be releasing the chin and jutting forward. You're keeping the chin up, imagining that you've got a tennis ball. For those at home who do have a tennis ball, if you want to practice this later, this is actually done with a tennis ball, but it's fine to do it without it. So we turn our head to the side. We imagine that we're trying to hold a tennis ball under our chin. So we're pulling our chin gently back, not down, just back. And then we're going to take the same hand that we're facing the same direction as, and you're going to take your two pointy and your middle finger and push against your temple, and then have your temple push against your hand. So now you're feeling a bit of work happening down the opposite jugular space. Release, and we go over to the other side. Again, imagine that you're holding that tennis ball, so the head's pulling slightly back. Your pointy finger and middle finger of the same shoulder is going to push against your temple, and your temple pushes back, again getting the jugular space. Also gets the back of the neck as well. Release, and we go back to do the other side again. Turn your head, keep your tennis ball in place, push your fingers against your temple. Release, we go back to the other side. Ball kept under your chin, fingers to temple. And release, and come back to your centered point. We're going to grab our hands just in line with your collarbone, both hands on top, and you're going to be pulling your muscles down as you look up to the ceiling. And release. And then go again. And release. And one last time. And release. Let's roll our shoulders backwards. As you're rolling your shoulders back, you should be activating your rhomboids here, pulling the scapulars together, down, and then forward. Activating rhomboids, pulling down, and then releasing forward. And then let's go opposite direction. We're rolling forward, so now we're squeezing the scapulars together and rolling forward. Squeezing, rolling forward. Fantastic. Now we're going to get into our arms a little bit. So with this one, often what people do is they take their arm across their chest, their shoulders up to their ear, and they pull their arm against them, and you feel nothing. Keep your shoulder down. Feel like somebody's pulling your arm away from you, so it's be extended in this arm area, and then pull your arm towards your opposite shoulder. Then you're pushing your hand against your forearm, but your forearm is also pushing gently back, so then it gets to the opposite shoulder scapula as well. Make sure you're tucking your hips under and lengthening your back. That adds to the whole stretch. Remember to breathe, relax breathing in through the nose out through the mouth. You can just as easily go in through the nose and out through the nose. Sometimes making yourself breathe in the nose and out the mouth just makes you remember to breathe properly. Release, and you go to the other side, your arms being pulled away from you. Then we go across the chest, keeping the shoulder down. Hand grabs the forearm, hand pushes against the forearm pushes gently back. And release. We're going to do our arms stretching behind us. So if you have tight arms and you can't really grab your hands behind your back, you're going to use one hand to help get this elbow over. So you'll grab your elbow and pull it backwards. But please make sure that your elbow is staying next to your ear. It's useless it's sticking out to the side. So you bring your elbow up close, it's being friends with your face, and then send it backwards, keeping it right against your head. For those of you who are a little bit more flexy, you'll take one arm grabbing up behind you. Again, make sure this elbow stays next to your head, not out to the side. And then you can reach back with your other hand, grab your fingers, and pull this hand down. Pull the top hand down. But you're also pulling the bottom hand up, so there's a bit of tension happening. Remember to keep breathing and gently release. And go over to the other side. And release. Shake out your hands. We're going to stretch our hands a little bit, so you can come sitting on your knees if you're comfortable. I think it's a little bit more challenging to do this sitting on your bum, so come on your knees. If you need your cushion to help you sit on your knees comfortably, grab it, whatever floats your boat. We're going to start off with our hands sitting here next to our knees, and we start leaning forward, lifting our bum forward so that we start feeling a stretch up the forearm, wrists and forearm. Lift your tummy in this position still, don't go into an arch. Lift up, push down in the shoulders and lean forward. It's one of those stretches that hurts so good. Take a short break. Place the tops of your hands further away from your body and lean backwards. Now getting up the front of the forearms. Keep tummies lifted. Release. Shake out your hands. Shake them out in circles. Shake them up and down. We're going to do that ball exercise again. So you imagine you've got a ball in your hand, you're trying to crunch it. So you're very iteratively, very slowly squeezing your hands shut. And open. shut and open, shut and open. Now we're going to do it a bit slower. So start squeezing and hold. Then squeeze a little bit more closed and hold. Squeeze a little bit more closed and hold. And squeeze all the way. Hold it tight. Your hands should be feeling warm. And then slowly start opening. Hold it. Opening a little bit more. Hold it. Opening a little bit more. Shake it out. Shaking hands, shaking hands, shaking hands. Okay, good. We're ready for action. So you can stand at the front of your mat. I'm hoping that I'm in the picture, but as long as you hear my voice, I think we'll be fine. Okay, so we stand at the front of our mat. Remember, we're rooting down with our feet, making sure the knuckles of the feet, the sides of the feet, and the heels of the feet are nicely planted on the floor. The arches are lifting. Then the feet feel like they're trying to pull the mat apart. Knees turn slightly out so that we're activating our bums nicely. Hips tucking under, lifting in the belly. Shoulders rotated into their sockets. And now we grab the energy down from the earth and we lift it up towards the ceiling, feeling our bodies being stretched long, 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 long. Then our hands swoop down with us as we come down into a swan dive. And grab your ankles, sucking your belly up, and pull your sternum towards your shins. Place your hands on the floor and bend your knees. And let's take the right knee back into a lunge position. Hold it here. Make sure you're squeezing the straight legs bum. Then make sure you're also tucking your bent knees bum into its socket. Lifting the tummy, keeping your hips squared. Again, you want to be able to stay in this position without using your hands. That's how you're rooting down. You know you're in a place of strength. And we start lowering that hip towards the floor, stretching out the hip flexor. Keep the straight leg keep the straight legs bum working. Remember to breathe. Try and relax deep into the position. When I say relax, it's not that you stop using your muscles. You're using them in a balanced space. So it's between that point of using them and chilling them. You're going in between. Drop your back knee towards the floor. Squeeze your bum even more and try and lean more towards your bent knee. Keeping your hips tucked under. Now push backwards so that our bum's coming towards our back foot and our front leg straightens up. We think about sucking the hip, sucking the belly towards the spine and tucking the hips under, and your sternum is pulling towards your ankles. You want to think about your sternum. I repeat myself a lot, guys. Please bear with me. You want to pull your sternum towards your leg because it's all great and dandy, your head getting there, but you're missing the stretch. You want to feel the stretch pulling all the way up the leg. Slowly lean forward. Squeeze this back bum muscle. Push that hip down towards the floor. Again, that's the hip flexor stretching. And we lean back again. Remember, sternum towards your shin, Think about tucking your hips under, sucking belly backwards. You want to keep on sucking like you're trying to make yourself super skinny. And that helps you bring your body closer towards your leg. And come forward again. Place your hands next to your foot. Lift the back leg back into that lunge position. Lift in your armpits, lifting your sternum up to create space so you can now take your left leg back into your plank position. Hold your plank position. Here I just want you to drop your chest down and lift back up. Chest down and lift back up. Chest down and lift back up. Pop your knees on the floor if you need to, or you stay up, dropping down into your chaturanga. Keep your elbows in towards your body, not jutting out. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Take the tops of your feet, push them into the floor, tuck your hips under, and lift up into your cobra, feeling like your sternum is being pulled away from you. Shoulders down, don't let them crawl up next to your ears. Now we're going to let our bums come up towards our feet and stretch out in a child's pose position. Come up as if you were going to go onto all fours, but you're still having your arms at sort of a 45-degree angle. You're going to drop your chest towards the floor as well as your head, and you do a dip down, leaning forward, coming back up into cobra. Squeeze the bum, push the hips down, and feel your sternum being pulled forward. Bum comes back up towards your feet, child's pose position. And come back up onto that hands and knees kind of position. Arms are at a 45-degree angle. You're dropping down towards the floor, and as you get your face towards the floor, you start leaning forward, pushing your hips down towards the floor, back into cobra. One last one. Bum towards your feet, lifting with your tummy. Up we come as if we're on our hands and knees. We're dropping our body forward, tracing along the floor, and up we come into cobra. Tuck your toes and feel like your coccyx are being pulled with a string up into your downward facing dog. Take a step in if you need to, and push your arms away, lifting in the tummy, making sure that these shoulders rotate into their sockets nicely. And just hold your downward facing dog. Bend your knees, feel your arms pushing away even more, tuck the hips under, suck the belly back, and we're going to pounce forward with our right leg coming forward between our hands. Now we're in our opposite-legged lunge position. Feel the back leg squeezing the top bum. Make sure that you've got nice strength happening in the front bent leg so that you don't actually need to use your hands. And feel this hip start pulling towards the ground, keeping these muscles active. Slowly lower the back knee to the floor and try and allow that hip to drop down even further, squeezing the bum. And we start leaning backwards, straightening the front leg, bending the back leg. Think about your sternum being pulled towards the shin, not your head. Slowly come forward, squeeze this back bum muscle and push the hip down towards the floor. Keep lifting in the belly, tucking the hips under. Remember to keep breathing. And lean back, straightening the front leg, sternum towards shin. Come forward again. Lift the back leg into your lunge position, making sure your hands are on the ground nicely. Lift in the tummy and bring your feet together in front of your mat and drop down into a forward fold, grabbing your ankles and pulling your sternum down towards your shins. Scoop the earth energy up as we pull our arms up towards the ceiling, lengthening the bodies. Long, 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 long. And return your hands into their prayer position by the heart. Ta-da! Nailed it, guys. Whew. Okay, now that we're nice and warm, we can start getting into hips. So I think I'm going to do the meanest one first. We come onto your hands and knees. You're going to spread your legs as wide as you can. Keep your knees and your ankles in line. So don't let the feet come in towards each other. You want them in line with your knees. Then you're going to tuck your hips under, lifting in the belly, keeping this tummy strong. And come down onto your forearms. And you keep tucking under and push back. This is to open up hips, get into the inner thighs. This is actually... there we go. Aha. Find the spot that it hurts. You want to hurt in this one. Good hurt, not bad hurt. Nice stretchy hurt. Keep your tummy lifted. Don't drop into an arch here. Keep tummy up. Keep shoulders up so you're lifting in the armpits. Feel like you're pushing down on the ground with your elbows to keep you lifted. You're just holding it right now. So you're finding that you're pushing backwards, finding where it stretches, and hold. Now you start leaning forward and leaning back. So we're going into a bit of a ballistic movement. Slowly backwards and forwards. Backwards and forwards. Remember to be gentle with yourselves. You don't want to hurt yourselves. You don't want to go too deep. It's just at a nice comfortable level for you. And find your deepest point again. It might be a little bit deeper this time. And hold. And you're going to very slowly come out of it, and it's okay if you flop on the floor and do a little flail to come out. It's alright. Okay, from there, we're going to come sit on our bums. I'm sitting further back in hopes that everyone can see me nicely. And we're going to drop our knees in towards each other. Again, knees and ankles are aligned. And you can wiggle your legs further out until you feel the stretch. It sort of gets you in this like hip capsule area. Make sure you're sucking your belly back, tucking your hips under. I'll repeat that 1,000 times, guys. If you get your hips tucked, your belly active, everything else falls into place and feels nicer as well. Slowly come out of that. And we come back with our feet together now. Get your feet as close to your Forksy bonnet or your gentleman bonnet as you can. Interlace your fingers, grab around your toesies, squeeze your bum muscles to help get the legs towards the floor. Suck the belly under, suck the belly towards the spine, hips tucked under, and start pulling your sternum towards your feet. You want to feel like there's a little hinge here at your hips that just helps you just easily lean forward. Derek, if you're listening, it might be a good idea to try popping a pillow under your bum, because if you're very stiff, you might struggle to get the nice stretch. Whereas if you pop a pillow under your bum, it helps tilt the hips and you might get a little bit deeper and feel a little bit better. Remember to keep breathing. The more you breathe, the more you trick your body into relaxing. You're trying to get your body further and further down towards the ground if you're able. Gently come up. And you're going to straighten your legs out in front of you. So we're going to take one leg, bending it behind us so that this heel comes towards the bum. Not right under us, it's just out to the side. And our other leg is relaxing in front of us. We're tucking our hips under, sucking our bellies towards the spine. We lengthen up in the arms. We lean forward to grab this foot. You can also grab the ankle or the shin, wherever you're able to. And you pull yourself down. Suck, suck, suck the belly back like you're trying to make yourself skinny. And again, sternum. Think about sternum towards your shin rather than your head, because getting your head down isn't as effective a stretch as if you're pulling your sternum towards your shin. Slowly come up, and this bent knee is now going to come further back, so you're trying to open it up behind you now. And in this position, we're doing exactly the same thing. Lengthen up in the body, lengthen those arms, and lean forward. from here, we're going to start walking towards the knee with our hands. So first place your one hand on the floor and lean towards that hand. Then you move that hand out the way and place it with your other hand and walk a little bit further. So now you're starting to get into the in-between space of both your legs. Walk your hands a little bit more, leaning forward, tucking the hips. Walk your hands a little bit more. Walk your hands a little bit more. Getting closer and closer towards our bent knee. Walk your hands a little bit more. And a little bit more. Now you should be over that bent knee and you're leaning even more towards it, or towards the floor rather. And we start walking back towards the straightened leg, one hand at a time. Walk a little bit more. Walk a little bit more. Walk a little bit more. And walk a little bit more. And last one, you should be leaning right over your straightened leg now. Slowly come back up. And we bring that bent leg around. And now we're going to cradle it like a baby. You did a good job, little leg. Thank you. So you pull your knee up towards your armpit, and then you're pulling your ankle towards the opposite arm. But you're going to get your foot into the crick of your elbow. Lift it so you're trying to get your ankle and your knee 90 degrees and wrap around. Suck the belly back. You're trying to hold on to that tummy strength and keep the hips tucked under. And then we're going to rock like a baby. La, 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 la. And we're going to release this leg. Now for flexia, more adept yogis, you can take your foot into your, I've gone blank, lotus position. For those of you who aren't there yet, you can just place your foot into your inner thigh or into the side of your knee. Either or will do. If I lost connection there, sorry. You can place your foot either at your knee or your inner thigh. Everyone else who can do it, you take your foot into lotus position. You're trying to squeeze your knee down towards the floor, tuck your hips under, arms lengthen up, and up and over we grab our foot or our ankle or our shin, wherever you can. Keep breathing. And slowly we come up so that we can get started on the other side. Okay, so the other leg is now straightened. Your leg that was straight is bending with the ankle coming up or the heel coming up towards our bum. It's not under your bum, it's just at the side. Knees are still together at this stage. Tuck your hips under, lengthen your arms, and stretch forward, grabbing your toesies, your ankle, your shins, wherever you can. And think about your sternum towards your shin. Keep breathing and try and relax deeper in. Keep your hips tucking under, sucking your belly back towards your spine. Gently come up, and now we're taking our bent leg and sending it further open behind us. Tuck your hips under, lengthen your arms up and over we go towards our straight leg. Keep sucking belly back, sternum towards our shins. And we're going to start walking. First, place your first hand on the floor. Then swap out that position with your second hand and move your first hand a little bit further. Walk them a little bit more. And a little bit more. Walk them a little bit more. And a little bit more. Moving towards your bent knee. Walk a little bit more. And a little bit more. And try and lean closer towards your knee. This is my tighter side. So listen to my words, don't watch my body. Try and lean further forward. And we start walking back again. Walk back a little bit more. And a little bit more. A little bit more. And a little bit more. A little bit more. Almost over our straight leg now. And over our straight leg. And slowly come up. That back knee comes around. Hi to my dad in the background. Oh, and now we're going to cradle this leg. Thank you, fat leg, for working like a mother trucker. Back into the crick of our arm. Grab behind you. And wiggle. And release. And again, for those who can, you take your foot into lotus, and those who can't, you take your foot into your inner thigh or down by your knee, depending on where you're at. Oh, this knee squeezes down towards the ground. Suck your belly, lift your arms, lengthen long, and grab your foot or your ankle or your shin and try and pull your sternum towards your shin. And gently come out. Okay, so our next exercise, I think I'm going to break it down for you a little bit before we get into the full exercise. So you're going to lie on your back, your legs are bent, your feet can be as close to your bum or as far away as they are able to be. You want to think about tucking the hips under. So I hope everybody can see me nicely. It's not that we have this gap under our back. You want to be thinking about this space, thinking about this space. You're pulling your back to annihilate that space. Like your whole back should be on the floor. And we do that by tucking the hips under and sucking our belly. So you want to feel, don't be afraid to squish, push your own tummy muscles. So they might just be like chilling here, la 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 la, and then you pull them down towards the ground. That's where you want them, nice and hard. This is where they're working. So when your hips are tucked under, back is on the ground, your tummy is nice and active. You're like, yes, this is the position I want to be. You release and you tuck down. Now when I'm doing this, when I'm in this relaxed space and there's a little bit of a gap on between my spine and the floor, my tummy is relaxed here, my tummy is relaxed here. Then, as I pull the tummy down towards the floor, so now my whole spine is on the floor, I can feel these muscles have gone hard, these muscles have gone hard. These guys are both activating to bring your tummy together. So that's what you're aiming for. Release and tuck. Release and tuck. Release and tuck. Getting tummy muscles active. Release and tuck. So now you feel this tucked position. Hold it. You want these two areas of your tummy, just here by your diaphragm and just above your Forksy bonnet and gentleman bonnet. These are the muscles that need to be working. So you're pulling your spine flat onto the ground. You lift your knees up. So knees are in line with the hips and knees are in line with the ankles. Hopefully that's how I look. And you want to think about pushing the Forksy bonnet forward and you're pulling the spine even more down towards the ground. And now you act like you're pushing against a wall. Now your tummy muscles should be burning, 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 burning. Hold it. Keep checking that these guys are nice and hard. And relax and pull your knees into your chest. Remember to breathe. And come back into that position. Your legs are at 90 degrees. This part of your back is not arching but pulling down towards the ground. And you imagine that your legs are now pushing against a wall. Tummy should be working up top and down below. You really want to feel your spine pushing into the ground. That's where the tummy muscles get active. And relax. Grab your knees towards your chest. And one last time, make sure you're tucking your hips under, your spine is getting onto the ground, you push your legs away gently. Whole tummy should be nice and hard and solid. And release. Bring your knees into your chest again. Release the legs, and we're going to start with our left leg, ankle towards our right knee. That left knee wants to be going out towards the side. You grab your hands between your legs and on the other opposite side of your bent knee, that is straight bent knee, and you pull that knee towards you, keeping this knee that's jutting out open. So it mustn't close in towards your chest. Keep it open and pull that knee towards your chest. This is a nice bum stretch. Remember to keep breathing, and on your next exhale, try and bring your knee even closer, getting an even deeper bum stretch. gently release. Let's do the other side. There's always one side that's a bit tighter than the other, so just let it be, do where it can go for right now. Remember to breathe. And on your next exhale, try and pull your leg a little bit closer, getting a deeper bum stretch. And slowly release. Come back up to seated. Now we're going to work on our arms a little bit. So we're going to start off just on your hands and knees. Place your hands a little bit further away than under your shoulders. You want to get the soft parts of your elbows facing forward. So you're rotating your shoulders in, out, in, into their sockets anyway. And you can see soft parts of your elbows facing forward. Now you're going to tuck your hips under, lift in the belly, lifting in the armpits, so you're pushing away. Lean forward, start dropping down, and then come back up onto your knees again. Lean forward, drop down, and come back up again onto your knees. Lean forward, drop down, come back up again. And a nice trick with this one is the more you lift your tummy, the easier it is to come back up. So if you're in an arch and you're coming forward, you're going to find this extra hard to come back up because you've actually got no strength. Lift in the belly, lift in the armpits, lean forward, drop down, lift the belly, and push back up. Lean forward, drop down, push back up. Lean forward, hold it. Keep pushing the floor away from you so you're lifting in the armpits. Squeeze the bum, tuck the hips under, drop down towards the floor, hold it, and push back up. And rest in child's pose. Breathe nice and steadily. And up we come. Our last playing around for the day is working on our flower pose. I got a message from someone asking how to get into flower pose without momentum. But we always need momentum. There's got to be a little bit of momentum happening. So we are lying down flat on your back. Make sure your neck is nice and lengthened. So your chin is slightly tucked in, but it's not trying to reach your sternum. It's just gently relaxing. Your shoulders, you want to lift up, rotate your shoulders into their sockets, and then pull them down so that the rhomboids pull just gently. That's getting you nice and flat on the back. Again, in this position, you want to be tucking the hips so that your whole back is on the floor. If you're in an arch, it's going to be very difficult getting up. So you tuck, tuck, tuck down. Hands on the floor. You push down with your hands. Push, push, push. This gives you a little bit of strength down here. Then the knees come towards your chest. You're using your tummy muscles. Your whole spine is on the floor. And then you're going to, here's the momentum, lift up. Take your hands over, or your feet over towards the floor behind you, or the wall, if you want to do the wall one. You suck, suck, suck your belly. You're lifting your bum up towards the ceiling. And you chill here. Chill, she says. Yes, you're tempted to chill here. If you'd like to take it a little bit deeper, the knees then come on the sides of the head. You're trying to get your knees on the floor. It's okay if you're not there yet. I'm not. And slowly roll your back onto the floor, iteration by iteration. I'm pushing my hands down into the floor to help me. Suck the belly, suck the belly, suck the belly. And now we can do our back rolls. So you grab your knees. Remember, we want to create that rounded back. So I'm pushing my knees into my hands, tucking my belly under, and we lift. You want to feel like you're, Jeanette always says, you're scraping peanut butter onto toast. So think about each vertebra scraping down onto the floor. So you tuck around, round your back, and round we go. Round, 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 round. Round, 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 down. Round, 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 up. Round, 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 down. Round, 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 up. Round, round, and come up. Okay. Ta-da, guys. You made it through today's class. Well done. So you can get ready to do some relaxation. You are free to grab a cushion and do your meditation sitting, or you can do it lying down. I'm going to take us through a theta meditation, which is just a fun one. So you're going up to hang out with God. So get comfy, close your eyes. If you need to put on some clothes or a blankie, grab them. I'll give you a seckie to just pull everything together and on, sockses, the works. Alrighty, so take a nice deep, deep, deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Deep, 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 deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. And last one, deep, 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 deep breath in. And exhale with a sigh. Take your awareness down into your heart center. The space of this emerald green magnificence. Breathe into this area just 2 or 3 times. Now we take our awareness and we imagine that we're moving down our body, down our legs, out of our feet, and we're growing roots deep into the earth. You can imagine these roots grabbing onto giant gemstones, almost like the archetype gemstones. Maybe there's a giant amethyst, tourmaline, aquamarine, whatever touches you. You're grabbing your roots down into these nice gemstones that are solidifying your energy down, down, down into the earth. You keep shooting more and more roots from your feet down into the earth, around these stones, around the dirt. Then imagine pulling up this gemstone earth energy up through your legs, and you're taking it into your root chakra. You feel a bit of red ignite. Work it up into your sacral chakra, and this orange ignites. You move up into your solar plexus, and the yellow ignites. Up into the heart, and that emerald green ignites. Up into your throat, and the blue ignites. Up into your third eye, and the indigo ignites. And then we move up into the crown area, and this beautiful pearlesque color ignites and creates this beautiful, easy to hop into little bubble. And up you go in this bubble, up through the planet, through the universe. You're passing stars, passing the atmosphere. You keep rising up, and we're going through the planes of existence. See lights, bright lights, showing each plane that you go through, with dark lights in between each layer. Another bright light, another dark layer. Up, 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 you keep going. You come across this rainbow-colored gelatinous substance, and you wiggle your way, you wiggle your bubble through this and pop out the other side. In a dark layer, and up ahead of you, you see what you could imagine would be a little doorway, this little rectangular doorway, and it's got this pearlesque substance sort of just sitting there, relaxing there. And your little pearlesque bubble eagerly goes up to join it, and then you yourself push through that pearlesque substance and out the other side, out to the seventh layer of existence, where the creator of all that is dwells. And all you're going to do is feel your energy expand as it sits with the creator of everything. Allow yourself to breathe in all this magnificent, unconditional love energy. Feel this unconditional love energy pour through every cell of your body, through your entire being. And allow yourself to just revel in this exquisite, sublime feeling. Breathing in deeply and relaxing exhales coming out of you. Allow your body to soften and just float in this sublime, unconditional love. Keep bringing your awareness back into the relaxation of your body, into the softness of the space that you're in, and that unconditional loving energy that's just emanating through your entire being. one last breath in of all this unconditional loving energy. And now we're going to make our way back down into our bodies, back down into the earth. Imagine you coming back to that rectangle of pearlescue substance, and you go through it back into your waiting pearlescue bubble, and it pulls you down through that rainbow gelatinous substance, down through the different layers of light and dark that you passed on the way, back through the atmosphere, back down onto earth. You pass through your body and you're pulling yourself down into the earth energy, back into the roots that you've laid so beautifully, pulling up that energy of all the gemstones and the dirt. Allow your body to absorb this earthing, grounding energy. And then you pull that energy back up into your body, back through all your chakras, finishing up in the crown again. Let this energy just feel more stable in the body. Take a deep breath in, then exhale slowly. Deep breath in, exhale slowly, and last deep breath in. And as you exhale, start wiggling fingers, start wiggling toes, start lengthening your body and giving it one last stretch. Ooh. And you can open your eyes and feel free to join me for one Om. So we'll take a deep, deep breath in.